Hey, shalom, shalom. It's your brother Shemayim coming back with another lesson. Let's start off, by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah Kodash. Double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and time it is true. Shalom to the Bayah Dawada, Wa Sincere Akwathium who are staying in order according to the scriptures. Let's get straight to it. I got an article, bringing out some prophecies. The spirit of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy, and the Lord Yahweh Shai comes in the volume of the book. And if you love Yahweh Shai, we got to feed the sheep. We are commanded to, we are those watchmen. So I got an article, um, the Washington Post. It comes from the Washington Post. Hold up. That's not what I was. Okay. National security. U.S. has sent private warnings to Russia against using a nuclear weapon. Okay. A YARS intercontinental ballistic missile is launched from an airfield during military drills on February 19, 2022. Russia's Defense Ministry press service AP. So this is just a picture of that date. But this article is by Paul Sonnet and John Hudson. This article was written on September 22nd, 2022 at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So this is 5 days ago. We are on September 25th. So like yeah, I was recording. I was recording and it just turned off on me. So let's continue in the article. It says the United States for several months has been sending private communication to Moscow warning Russia's leadership of the grave consequence that would follow the use of a nuclear weapon. According to US officials who said the message underscore what President Biden and his aide have articulated publicly. The Biden administration generally has decided to keep warning about the consequence of a nuclear strike, deliberately vague. So so the Kremlin worries about how Washington might respond. The official said, speaking on the condition of anonymity, anonymity to describe sensitive deliberation. The attempt by the White House to cultivate what's known in the nuclear deterrence world as strategic ambiguity comes as Russia continues to escalate the rhetoric about possible nuclear weapons use amid a domestic mobilization aimed at stanching Russian military losers in eastern Ukraine. The State Department has been involved in the private communication with Moscow, but officials will not say who delivered the message or the scope of their comment. It was not clear whether the United States had sent any new private messages in the hour since Russia President Vladimir Putin issued his latest veiled nuclear threat during a speech announcing a partial mobilization early Wednesday. But a senior U.S. official said the communication had been happening constantly over recent months. Dmitry Medvedev, deputy chairman of Russia's Security Council, wrote Thursday in a post on Telegram that territory in eastern Ukraine would be accepted into Russia after the completion of staged refer- referendums and vowed to strengthen the security of those areas. To defend that annexed land, Medved- Medvedev said Russia is able to use not only a newly mobilized forces, but also any Russian weapon, including strategic nuclear one, and those using new principles, a reference to hypersonic weapons. Russia has chosen its path. Medvedev added, there is no way back. That's powerful. There is no way back. The comment came a day after Putin suggested Russia would annex occupied land in Ukraine, south and east, and incorporate the regions formally into what Moscow considers its territory. He said he was not bluffing when he vowed to use all means at Russia's disposal to defend the country's territorial integrity, a veiled reference to the country's nuclear arsenal. Biden administration officials have emphasized that this isn't the first time the Russian leadership has threatened to use nuclear weapons since the start of the war on February 24th, and have said there is no indication Russia is moving its nuclear weapons in preparation for an imminent strike. Still, the recent statement from the Russians leadership are more specific than previous comments and come at a time when Russia's reeling on the battlefield from a US backed Ukrainian counter counteroffensive, you know? And we're gonna leave it at there. I'm gonna put the article in the description box, you know. So listen, man, the spirit of war is out here. Okay. Ecclesiastes chapter 3, if I'm not mistaken. Or it could be verse 7. Yes, Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 7. Let's get that. Verse, we're gonna start at verse 1. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. Everything under the heavens on earth, everything has its purpose. Nothing is a coincidence. Verse 8. There's a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. And my people, you Israelites, we are in a time of war. All right. There's a purpose for everything. And this is the Lord's movie. Let's get this. This is the Lord's movie. The Lord is bringing this to the world, and He's doing it perfectly. Everything is timed perfectly. He's using all his pieces on the chessboard to move every to allow the Lord's movie to flow, perfectly. The scriptures speak about everything that's happening. This is the Lord's movie, and the scriptures is that script. You know, Revelations 11 and 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. That third woe is talking about, on World War III. World War III is on the horizon. We are in a time of war. Now there is a lot of reckless what do you call it, nuclear threats happening by all these lands, even what's that nation, North Korea. These nations are not playing, man. Let's get this right, because these nations are not playing. This is the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 10, and it says, beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say I am strong. So all these tools, all these utensils, plowshares, um, pruning hooks, they're being turned into military weaponry, you know, the arsenals that these nations hold. Let me see. Con, let's continue on that. Uh, Beautiful. Let me see. So we're gonna start at verse 10 as a matter of fact. So right, let's start at verse 10. So this is the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 10. Um, well, I just read that. Let's go to 11. Assemble yourself, right? And come all ye heathen, and gather yourself together round about thither, cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathens be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, you know, which is Armageddon. For there will I sit to judge all the heathens round about. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. And the harvest is talking about the people. The people is ready to get their the judgment. The nations, the world, they are ready, man. It's only a matter of time. Like I said, the Lord is putting his pieces together perfectly and everything is moving everything is flowing fluently, perfect at his right time. This is why we're in a time of war right now. This is why there's rumors of war. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full. The fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. You see, the wickedness of these heathens, especially you Edomites, is great. Multitudes, multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. Okay. From there, let's go to the hooks in their jaws is what I was trying to get. Right, beautiful. Ezekiel 38. Let's see. Right, let's start at verse 1. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog. Who is Gog? Gog and the Magog are the Russians. Set thy face against Gog in the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meschef and Tubal, and prophesies against them. Ultimately talking about, Edomites. Verse 3, and say, Thus says the Lord God, your power, behold, I am against thee, O God, the chief prince of Meschek and Tubal. you know so the Lord is against these Russians, man. The Lord is against these Edomites. Verse 4, and I will turn thee back and put hooks in thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth. Right, so the Lord is going to put hooks in the jaws of these Edomites, meaning he's gonna make them do something that they don't want to do. And I will bring thee forth, and all thine enemies, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sort of armor. What does this mean? It's talking about war, right? They getting ready for war. They getting all their weapons ready. Everything that they have to do with war, they getting ready, man. Their troops, everything. And I will bring thee forth in all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sort of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. This is a great army that the Lord is creating on Esau's side. Persia, verse 5. Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shields and helmet. Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarmah of the north quarters, and of his band, and many people with thee. Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. After many days thou shalt be visited. In the latter year thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword, and gather out of many people against the mountain of Israel, which has been always wasted, but it is brought forth out of the nations, and they shall dwell safely, all of them. So the point was verse 4, and I will turn thee back and put hooks in thy jaws, man. And this is what the Lord is doing, man. The Lord is putting jukes I said jukes, is putting hooks on into the jaws of these Russians, man. You know what I mean? The Lord is preparing them for war. The Lord is making them get ready for war. From there, let's go to Jeremiah 51. If I'm not mistaken. You know, Jeremiah 51. Let's see. Give me 1 second. So no, it has to be, as a matter of fact, verse chapter 50. Bear with me, brother, so I can find the scripture. Proving that the Lord is putting hooks in their jaws. Right. Let's go to Jeremiah 50, and we're gonna start at verse 14. Put yourself in array against Babylon. Round about, all ye that bend the bow, shoot at her, spare no arrow, for she has sinned against the Lord. Shout against her round about, she has given her hand, her foundation are fallen, her walls are thrown down, for it is the vengeance of the Lord. Take vengeance upon her as she has done, do unto her. Okay. So this is the Lord, taking vengeance on Babylon. Okay, and he's gonna use Russia for that. Let's jump down to bear with me 1 second so I can find it. Give me 1 second. Let me get my sword. It's 49. All right, let me research it. It has to be 50, but I'm just not finding it. Let's see. Was it 51? Okay. Con, it was 51. Jeremiah 51 and 11. Make bright the arrows, gather the shield. The Lord has raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes. The Medes, the modern day Medes, is the Russians. Okay, make bright the arrows, gather the shields. The Lord has raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes, for his device is against Babylon. Right? The Lord's plan is to go against Babylon. Remember, he's making all these nations go against Babylon. Okay, he's saying, let the weak say I am strong. And he's gonna use, and the number one piece that he's gonna use in this chessboard are these Russians. And this is what's happening right now, right? The Lord is putting the hooks in their jaws. Okay, and this right here is a precept to that, because the Lord is putting the spirit of the kings of the Medes, for his device is against Babylon to destroy it, because it is the vengeance of the Lord, the vengeance of his temple. And I just read that in Jeremiah 50. Okay, that being said, let's go to this. Let's go to this. We might finish off with this. Matthew 24. Okay, Matthew 24. You guys know where I'm going. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse let's start at verse 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming, the sign of Yahweh Shai coming back, and of the end of the world. Okay, and it's talking about the rulership of the wicked, because that's gonna be the end of the, that's what it means when it says the end of the world, the end of Esau's rulership, his time, his era. Okay, let's continue. And Yahweh shall answer, verse 4, and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am the Hamashiach, and shall deceive many. Verse 6, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nations shall rise against nations, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famine and pestilence, earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrow. So, yes, we are in the spirit of war right now, but before this third world comes, right? Before this third world comes, we're gonna have nations against nations, kingdom against kingdoms. There shall be famine, pestilence, earthquakes. All these things are happening, man. Especially the rumors of war, right? We about to enter into Jacob's trouble. All right, it's about to be very serious out here, very dangerous, perilous times. You know. So we in the state right now, rumors of wars, man. We about to go in. These are the beginnings of sorrows. We're about to see a lot of things happening. All right, racial war, civil war, famine, lack of bread, lack of goods, more pestilence, more earthquakes, what do you call it? Riots, you know, a lot of things are gonna go, a lot of things are gonna happen. The people shall have no pity upon their neighbor. There's gonna be a lot of sedition among men. Hey man, it's gonna get serious. And this reckless nuclear threats that's happening between Russia and the USA is all prophecy. All right, the Lord is doing, the Lord is controlling this. The Lord is making these rumors of war. The Lord is putting these hooks in their jaws, man, making Russia go against, Babylon. And trust me, Babylon and Russia don't want to do this, but it's gonna happen. The Lord's gonna do this. The Lord's gonna make it happen. And with that, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying to the elect. Let's give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakwadash. Lord willing, on to the next one. Shalom.